We've got Granville number 37 on the general line with Quadfathers. And Dilly Dally number 24, 68. With a Puget Sound Outcasts.
It's amazing how well you can see things when you're actually behind the jammer line.
We're getting spoiled.
Absolutely. Both teams line up very close to the jammer line. That's to give the jammer the least amount of room possible to get any momentum. For those of you unfamiliar with the rules of roller derby, everybody goes on the initial whistle, dilly-dally, pushing his way through hard. Granville getting sent back to the outside, dilly-dally picking up the jammer for Puget Sound with a nice spin move.
You got the man in the window.
Granville making his way through, completing his initial pass. Looks like Dilly Dally picks up 2 points there for Puget Sound, so it's 2-0 right now in favor of Puget Sound. Still a good result for Quadfathers. Dilly Dally, an excellent jammer to hold him to 2 points. It's a very strong play for them to begin.
Scott Slimilton, number 100 on the jam line for Puget Sound, and Wild Style, number 215 on the jam line for the Quadfathers. The whistle starting the jam. Brandon at the black shirts in front of the bounce and the outside. Jam outside of turn one. Wild Style.
Looks like Wild Style is headed to the penalty box.
And Wild Style putting up the lead man for the
Wild Style in the jam for the Quadfathers. Second jam there. Wild Style calling out the jam after picking up 3 points for the Quadfathers.
And Wild Style pulling up the jam, but landing his back after being hit to the ground.
Right now the score is 3-2 in favor of the Quadfathers. Essentially, New York got 43 Red Baron at the line for the Quadfathers. Number 53 Speed Dealer at the line for Puget Sound Outcasts.
Quadzilla still in the penalty box. And Puget Sound starting down to 1 block.
Red Baron trying to make his way through, but getting knocked to the inside. Speed Dealer getting knocked out of bounds and getting knocked out of bounds by Joe Stever. Again, he sent all the way back. No lead chamber as of yet. Red Baron getting knocked to the outside, sent back to the pack. Chamber nightmare for both sides here. Speed Dealer making it through, picking up the lead chamber for the Puget Sound Outcasts. But it was a hard fought run through. When these guys are holding back here the first time of the day, they are rushing each other on the bench. Red Baron making his way through the big his initial pass. Nice move around Speed Dealer, who's doing a little offensive jamming. Speed Dealer calling up the jam.
Jamming for the Quadfathers, Granville number 37 in high ride, number 14 Puget Sound.
Action starting off intense already. You know it's going to be a rough game when you frequently hear the sound of plastic hitting something hard. As their helmet's getting knocked around. Right around making his way around. Bobby Brady picking up the lead for Puget Sound Outcasts. They're going to try to make his way to the Quadzilla. He's off the bounce down back in action. Nice. Inside to outside cut by Rockets with his first initial pass. Picking up a grand slam, 5 points for Puget Sound score on that pass. Brando making his way through. James Clement started scoring points until they made it through the pass for the first time. Brando doing that. Ryrod making his way through the pass a third time, picking up another 5 points and calling off the jam.
Wild Style and Dilly Dally on the way to the jam line to start this jam together again.
16-3 right now in favor of Puget Sound Outcasts.
Penalty box.
Just about 5 minutes into this bout.
Penalty box is empty. Start this gym with 8 blockers on the track.
So far, despite the hard hits, not a ton of penalties called. No power jams as of yet. Billy Dowling with a nice jump from the inside. Picks up a little jammer from Puget South. Wild South getting banged around in there hard.
Slow to get up, but he makes his way back onto the track. He's greeted by a wall of Puget Sound blockers in the back of the pack. Dilly Dally making his way through the pack. Oh, by Bobby Brady.
Dilly Dally getting knocked outside by Bobby Brady, and Bobby Brady getting just run over by number 19, Coriacos. Pile up on turn 3, as Wildstall tries to make his way through. Gets knocked outside by number 4, staying aside. Sorry, Dilly Dally making his way through.
Back after outside of 40 games. With 5 points on the board for Dilly Dally.
Wildstall still trying to make his way through that pack. They're getting him shut down right now by the excellent defense of Puget Sound. Dilly Dally with a nice chest fake there. He sure slips to the outside, makes his way around him for another 5 points of Puget Sound. And that's the end of the jam. Puget Sound with a huge jam. Racking up the points, making it 36-3 right now. In favor of the team beats Melba, Washington. Looks like we got number 43, Red Baron, on the line for the Quadfathers.
Got limited for Puget Sound Outcasts. Not too many trips to the penalty box so far in this game.
No, like I said, despite there being some very hard hits, it's been a fairly clean game. Scott Seiler making his way through, picking up the lead chance for Puget Sound. Red Baron getting sent airborne.
Getting a little kick in his back wheel after that 1 minute.
Number 56, Thomas Jonas, has a penalty box for Puget Sound, so he's going to be serving a minute in the penalty box, so let's play he'll be allowed back onto the track.
Pete's on his way to the season.
We changed it here. Got there, still having a hell of a time making his way through. Looks like Quadzilla headed to power box. Really changed it.
I think he's got the equipment out once in the stage. He's sticking with toe stops on one foot and all 4 wheels on the other. Wow, have a broken struck at the back of that skate, but he's still making his way around the pocket.
Yeah, Red Baron trying to make do what he can, but there's definitely some sort of issue with his skates. Nice move to the inside there.
He makes the way through the back.
Red Baron fighting on.
I think he gave his skate a force alignment and it seems to be working a little bit better.
Yeah, skating slower than we would normally expect from Red Baron. That's probably because of that equipment issue. Trying to make sure his wheels don't come flying off. Just getting too much momentum. Scott Slim's meanwhile making his way around, picking up some more points from Puget Sound. Pack starting to get very spread out at this point, making it easier for both jams to come through. Puget Sound regrouping with the balls up out the back. Scott Slim, nice burst of speed there, getting slammed into by Pacers and getting sent into protective padding and into the first post. Great check there by Brandon, but the Puget Sound able to rack up another 21 points in that jam, 57-10 right now in favor of Puget Sound.
Bramble on the jam line for the Quadfathers and Speed Dealer for the Puget Sound Outcasts. Penalty box is empty. Steeler. Past him on the wall.
Rambo forced to call out the jam there, squeezing to get too close to the pack for comfort. Rather than risking the other team getting out, Rambo decides to stop play by calling off the jam. And it looks like a timeout is being called by the Quadfathers bench.
And don't forget to stop by the Quadfathers merchandise table. You can get your Mohawk Valley Cup 2013 t-shirt.
Looks like we got number 14, Irod, coming to the line for Puget Sound. A bit of a change of strategy here. P-Shares making his way to the line for the Quadfathers for the first time tonight as a jammer. P-Shares is a very good all-around skater, has an extensive hockey background, good jamming and good blocking. Quadfathers deciding to do that little bit of extra jamming. P-Shares is running right over Quadzilla, but nonetheless, Rydock still picking up the jamming for Puget Sound.
Zigzag. Bonus Jones in the Outcasts. Brandon does make his way out back. And Rydock from the Outcasts calls off the jam. Being sent out of bounds. His first tackle.
Making his way through, picking up 2 points now, 59-10 in favor of Puget Sound. Just about 19 minutes to go in this first half.
We've got Dilly Belly on the jam line for the Outcast and Bramble for the Quadfathers. Quadzilla in the penalty box for the Outcast.
Dilly Belly getting sent down by the Thunderers. And then right back out of the field, a beautiful jump on the inside the line, picking up the chicken behind himself. Joe Stewart behind the penalty box for the Quadfathers. Rambo on the trap penalty, so it's a power jam situation right now. Dilly Belly the only jammer who can score any points. Puget Sound's going to try and keep the pack as slow as possible, even potentially moving it backwards if they can, to allow the jammer to get as many points in as short a time as they can. He's heading to the penalty box now. I believe that was for a direct gameplay penalty. Dilly Belly with a nice move to the outside, getting around completely untouched there. Another grand slam for Puget Sound as the pack is at a complete standstill. Quadzilla coming out off the bench for Puget Sound as Dilly Belly picks up another grand slam, 5 points for Puget Sound. Dilly Belly calling off the jam.
Dilly Belly very effective with that turnaround twist stop action right before he gets up to the Quadfather clock. Stops, takes a look at the situation, jumps around the box.
One thing I've noticed about Puget Sound in just the 10 or so minutes watching them is that they are just as comfortable skating backwards as forwards, as sideways, as upside down, and that provides you with a lot of opportunities to make your way around a skater who doesn't have the same mobility.
Scott Slamilton on the jam line for the Outcast, making his way through the pack. He's got Brian the only 2 Quadfathers boxes on the track right now.
And it looks like he's going to head to the penalty box going for correction of gameplay penalty, just as Joe Stewart and Rainbow Brandon come in off the bench.
Brandon Stewart now making his way to the penalty box of the Quadfathers.
Rainbow getting slammed around inside the pack.
Pinball.
Scott Slamilton making his way through. Scott Slamilton headed to the penalty box for a shotgun penalty, small power change situation for the Quadfathers. Unfortunately, there are only 2 blockers out there to help Rainbow get through. Puget Sound has 3, one of them being Quadzilla, considered to be the godfather of modern rollerblading. Getting off to his feet, right back up. Blockers can only block the jam when they're trying to feel the pack. Puget Sound stretching that pack out as far as they can by extending their arms. Rambo getting knocked down and sent all the way back to the pack. Rambo slow to get to his feet. The most physically exhausting parts of roller derby is not getting knocked down, but getting back up. And Puget Sound sending as far back as humanly possible. Looks like Bravo is handed that off to Insurance. Insurance had the penalty box for a back block now.
We'll serve the moment with the Jammer for the Quadfathers after that penny pass.
Now Scott's going to let out of the penalty box. There can only be one jammer in a penalty box at any given time. And that's the end of the jam. In a penalty box, and the active jammer gets served the penalty. The jammer who was sent to the box initially gets let back on the track. And then the jammer who serves the second penalty serves exactly the same amount of time as the first jammer served. So if the jammer from Puget Sound only serves 20 seconds in the penalty box before a Quadfathers jammer comes in, then a Quadfathers jammer only has to serve that 20 seconds. It's a little confusing if you're a new member, a new spectator in the sport.
And stand aside jamming for the Outcasts. It's a late jam after making his way through the Quadfather blockers.
Power jam situation here for the Outcasts. As Fisher stuck in the penalty box. Stands aside, picking up a grand slam for Puget Sound.
5 points on the board, bringing them up to 87.
87-14 right now in favor of Puget Sound. Just under 14 minutes to go in this first half.
Stand aside, another 5 points on the board for the Outcasts. And this is way through the back.
Fisher is making his way out of the penalty. Multiplayer block called on Puget Sound.
And Billy doesn't make his way to the penalty box.
Ruff and Peace getting knocked down hard. The jam rock for the Quadfathers hitting his head on the concrete there, but he has recovered. You are not safe even if you're a ref in this sport. Maybe an official timeout call here. Yeah.
Making his way to the jam line for the Quadfathers. Outcasts. This is Tomahawk's first trip to the jam line for the Quadfathers.
Quadfathers mixing the jammer rotation up a bit here. As Puget Sound, one of the early favorites to make the finals, and roll on 97-14 right now. Just about 13 minutes to go. Tomahawk trying to charge his way through. Meanwhile, right around the outside line, picking up the lead jammer for Puget Sound.
Warren on the speed to make his way out of the back after a Tomahawk now making his way back into the pack.
Right, picking up the outside by Fisher, sent all the way back.
Tomahawk's made his initial pass. Back. And Rod calls off the jam for the Outcasts. Tomahawk is making his way into the pack once again.
The Thunderous headed to the penalty box for Quadfathers. Windows destroying the pack penalty. Pack is only considered as such when there's members of both teams skating in it. If any skater skates out of the pack to intentionally cause a no-pack situation, that is a penalty. They'll be serving a minute in the penalty box.
Speed dealer on the jam line for the Outcasts.
Looks like Oxen 3.
Oxen 3. Hard hit from Brandon Fraser.
Getting the time speed up was leading. Brandon Scherzer and Alex 3 headed out to the penalty box.
This is looking for the penalty box.
There's a little bit of confusion. The penalty box is a different location than it is normally here at the JP Arena and around that throwing him off. He is not going to serve his time until he sits down in the penalty box, which he has not done yet. So that's some extra seconds for Puget Sound in this power jam situation as Speed Dealer makes his way to the pack for another pass.
Speed dealer putting another 5 points on the board for the Outcasts. pretty effective with approaching the back, turn around, touch stop. Beats the Quadfathers and then juking through there and making it look pretty easy. And Speed Dealer calls off the jam. Puget sound Outcasts.
Speed Dealer calling off the jam. Still a power jam situation here for the Puget Sound Outcasts. Oxen 3 stuck in the penalty box.
Scott Slamilton on the jam line for the Outcasts. Pretty easy to see that Scott Slamilton is one of the 5 members of the Puget Sound Outcasts that's made Team USA.
And we can see why as he makes his way through and picks up the lead jammer very quickly for Puget Sound. Puget Sound keeping the pass at the standstill as Scott Slamilton makes his way around the track. And through the pack for his first race, scoring pass, 9 points scored. 1 point scored for each blocker, he passes and the jammer. Scott Slamilton making his way through the middle of the number for Puget Sound. 1:30 to 14 right now.
He's only slowed down a little bit, and it depends on the speed.
Looks like Tom Hawk's going to be going to the penalty box for direction of gameplay penalty.
Ollie Oxen 3 makes his way out of the pack after learning from the penalty box.
Scott Slamilton making his way with Bryce into the pack. Bursting through and calling off the jam just as Oxen 3 came onto the penalty box.
Dilly Dally on the jam line for the Outcasts, and Red Baron at the jam once again for the Quadfathers.
9 minutes to go, 1:40 to 14 right now in favor of Puget Sound. Official timeout being called by the referee Sugar Daddy. And that's the end of that short official timeout. Got number 43, Red Baron, Jimmy S. number 2468, Dilly Dally. There's the whistle. A little bit of defensive jamming there, too. Red Baron alongside. Red Baron going back out. Really massive hit. That's going to be a director's gameplay penalty. For number 24-7 Hollywood. As Red Baron makes his way through.
Both teams only having 2 blockers left on the track, but the rest off in the penalty box.
Dilly Dally and Red Baron both making their way through the pack. Red Baron up and moving around, making MVC effects of that huge hit from Hollywood. Took a big toll on him. Calling it 7 minutes in the penalty box as a result of that.
Pack seems to be moving along at the same speed as both runners.
Dilly Dally knocking Red Baron out of bounds. Skating backwards, Red Baron has to go in behind Dilly Dally. Cannot cut in front of any people. Out of bounds. Red Baron just waiting up though.
And the pack is set to pick up speed once again. Red Baron makes his way back out of the track.
Dilly Dally is a smart strategy there, knocking Red Baron out and waiting for the pass to come around before allowing Red Baron down in. Red Baron is hard. And it looks like number 56 bonus Thomas is going to be heading to the penalty box. Great direction of gameplay penalty. Red Baron making his way through, picking up 4 points to call out the jam. As well as Dilly Dally picking up 3 points there on that last pass through the mat. 18 to 144 right now in the Puget Sound Outcasts.
Brandon Schurz jamming for the Quadfathers. Quadzilla jamming for the Outcasts. Tennis now in the penalty box.
Quadzilla jamming for the first time today for Puget Sound. As I mentioned before, Quadzilla looked like the Godfathers of roller. I mean, not the Quadfathers, those are different guys. Those are our home team. Quadzilla, however.
Makes his way around the outside. The back picks up the jam for the Outcasts. Trying to do a little juke scoop. And makes his way by. And to the penalty box. Try to cut. Got a hard hit from Rattle outside of the track area.
Quadzilla making his way through, picking up a grand slam, 5 points for the Outcasts.
Radilak being another player for the Outcasts that made Team USA.
Some very high quality skaters on the Puget Sound Outcasts. So you can see why they're one of the favorites to make the final four of the tournament. And potentially in the finals, and some people are picking them to win.
Quadzilla another 5 points. He's another team player. The Outcasts is on Team USA as well.
No surprise there. Quadzilla, huge hit on Oxford, allowing Quadzilla to make his way free. That opens up the hole. That was done by number 55. Football punishment on Puget Sound. Quadzilla flying into the back, quite literally. Jumps into it but stays on his feet. Makes his way around Joe Steven, around the slam. And calls off the jam. The first half is getting close to the 164-18 right now in favor of Puget Sound.
Quadfathers stuck down one blocker with Quadfathers down in the penalty box. Looked like a track cut. Standing sound jamming for the Puget Sound Outcasts on 4. And all 4 blockers on the track for Puget Sound.
Standing side, picking up the lead jam for the Puget Sound Outcasts. Fisher's trying to make his way through. He sent down hard, but not on his feet. And right back in the action. Number 64, Bowser hitting the penalty box for Puget Sound.
He gets sent in for a 4-hour.
And it looks like number 19, Corey Atlas, is up to the penalty box as well for Puget Sound. Puget Sound with only one blocker right now. Corey Atlas getting the wave back on the track. No team can have more than 2 blockers in the penalty box at any given time, so Corey Atlas will have to serve this 1-minute penalty as soon as some room opens up for him. Kim sends it. Which means meanwhile making his way through the pack. Picking up 4 points for the Quadfathers. Stays aside and slamming into Puget. Making his way through, picking up 4 more points for Puget Sound Outcasts. Brett Barrett on the counter box for the Quadfathers, as well as Brandon Schurz for the Quadfathers, and Chandler for a track penalty. Now he's starting to wrap that up with both teams. Corey Atlas will be serving his time in the penalty box for Puget Sound, and that's the end of the jam.
A little less than 2.5 minutes left.
Turbo Wave, My Monster had a turn on skates, and that's the end of the timeout.
Number 100, Scott Slamilton jamming for the Outcasts.
Power
Brandon
jam.
Schurz for the Quadfathers, jamming still in the penalty box.
Power jam situation here for Puget Sound.
Both teams have 1 blocker in the penalty box still. The back is pitching forward. Getting ready to start the jam. Scott Slamilton making his way here to and pulls out. Sort of speed and picks up the jam for the Outcasts. Six bonus with
Next night at 11 a.m., Mass Maelstrom and Montreal's men's roller derby.
Scott Sanders making his way through the back. We're up to 9 points. Scott Sanders making his way through.
Sure, still in the penalty box.
Quadzilla breaking up the block.
Quadzilla did a good job of sending the Quadfathers one way, while Scott Hamilton went the other way. He's sure making his way out of the penalty box. And completing a star pass to Red Bear. The blocker wearing the pivot on the cover, which signifies essentially the last line of defense in roller derby, and receiving the jammer on the cover. If it is legally passed to them by the active jammer. Scott Hamilton with a ton of speed right now, making his way through the map. Staying very secure to the track, picking up another grand slam for Puget Sound as Bobby Brady heads to the penalty box. And that's the end of the half. Halftime score, 214-27 in favor of the Puget Sound Outcasts. Looks like both teams getting ready to line up on the pivot line, which is the farthest on the track. The pack can line up legally. Howard's in situation. And I apologize. Puget Sound Outcasts will be fielding a jammer, number 53, Speed Dealer, pointing on the helmet cover.
Bobby Brady and Ryron in the penalty box. One blocker each from each team. And the jammers are off. There's the start of the second half of this game. Brandon Scher's the last line of defense for the Quadfathers, doing his best to keep that Speed Dealer. Was able to send him to the outside of the track.
Ooh, massive collision there on the track between B-Shirts and Dilly Dally.
Speed Dealer taking up the jammer for the Outcasts. Pack has come to a standstill. Speed Dealer making his way through the back. 5 points on the board for the Outcasts. And Dilly Dally on his way to the penalty box.
Speed Dealer back on the outside, that B-Shirts sent back into the pack. Tries to make his way around for the second time. B-Shirts with a hard hit on Speed Dealer, but not able to stay on his skates, allowing Speed Dealer to come back in bounds. Power jam situation here for Puget Sound. Keeping the pack as still as possible. Getting screamed at by his bench coach to call off the jam, and does so after picking up a couple of points there for Puget Sound. 27 to 227 right now.
Scott Slamilton on the jam line.
Still a power jam situation for Puget Sound. Rambo getting ready to head out of the penalty box, but still stuck there for the start of this jam.
Blocking for the Outcasts in the jam. Quadzilla, Rattleback, and Biggie Talls.
Quadfathers holding the line up in the front of the pack. As Rambo comes in out of the box.
Scott Slamilton picking up lead jam. Rambo making his way through the pack. From the back now, being blocked with Quadzilla. Let's scoot around. Makes his way out for his first pass.
Nice burst of speed around Quadzilla there, completing his initial pass. Scott Slamilton flies around the inside, picks up his points. Thinks about calling off the jam, but decides against it.
back for another 5 points for the Puget Sound Outcasts.
Goes through the inside untouched. And Scandal makes his way through the back. Gets knocked down, but makes his way back on his feet quickly, picking up 4 points for the Quadfathers. Scott Slammer picks up another grand slam and calls off the jam before Puget Sound.
Penalty box looks empty from here. Both teams able to field 4 blockers.
Wildstyle trying to make his way to the pack backwards, getting tripped up there. Right back on his feet to stand aside, tries to make his way around red shirts. Gets knocked outside by Joe Stevens, but right back in bounds as Wildstyle makes his way on the inside and picks up lead jammer for the Quadfathers.
Much needed advantage for the Quadfathers for this game.
Nice 360 spin around beach shirts by stand aside as Wildstyle makes his way into the pack. Running his way through, calling off the jam. .240 and 34 right now in favor of Puget Sound. Handful of points scored there by the Quadfathers.
Rod jamming against Red Baron.
Slay West handed out high fives on the Quadfathers bench for a good jam by the team.
Quadzilla and Radillac are the blockers on the track for the Puget Sound Outcasts. Zilla doing a good job of sending Red Baron off the track. And he was off on his way to the penalty box.
Red Baron heading to the penalty box for a track penalty as Rod rounds the track very quickly. Quadzilla just barrels into as many Quadfather blockers as he can possibly get his body onto. Peach, number 27 for the Quadfathers, heads to the penalty box for a track penalty. Rod taking the outside line, picking up 5 points for Puget Sound Outcasts. Easily slipping through, picking up another grand slam for Puget Sound as Raging Homo heads to the penalty box for the Quadfathers. Bobby Brady out there all by himself. Raging Homo getting waved back onto the track, but he has to make the trip. Nice move around the outside. Stand aside by Ryrod, I'm sorry. As he calls out the jam, timeout being called. Bobby Brady is a good bout to have. Track is still fresh. Fresh rosin laid down, although it looks like that's all been wiped away. And the temperature is very comfortable in here right now for both teams. Dilly Dally on the line for the Puget Sound Outcast, number 2468. Who do we appreciate? Dilly Dally, Dilly Dally, Dilly Dally.
We got Raging Homo and Brandon Schurz, the 2 blockers on the track for the Quadfathers. We have a full complement of blockers for the Outcasts. Dilly Dally sprints off the line, greeted by Brandon and Raging Homo, and he picks up lead jam for the Outcasts.
Puget Sound keeping the pack at a standstill, allowing Dilly Dally to get around into the pack as fast as possible. Dilly Dally getting knocked outside by Bishos. Trying to fake his way around him, but getting back to the outside. Dilly Dally making his way in, picking up. Does not get lead jammer because he did not pass all the blockers inbounds. Dilly Dally did. Now Dilly Dally actively arguing with the referee. That never ends well. But still a beautiful jump on the inside line, picking up 5 points now for Puget Sound Outcasts. Dilly Dally swerving his way around Peach, getting knocked outside. But still picking up 5 points for Puget Sound. Dilly Dally picking up 1 more point moments as Fred Merrick comes in out of the penalty box. Dilly Dally with a nice move around tomahawk, picking up another grand slam. Puget Sound as Red Baron tries to force his way through the pack.
Quadfathers doing their best. They had a blocker swap out in the penalty box. Puget tomahawk blocking for the Quadfathers. 2 on the track right now. Dilly Dally makes his way through the pack one more time. Another 5 points on the board for the Outcasts.
Red Baron gets sent outside, then all the way back in as Dilly Dally makes his way through. Nice upper body movement to make his way through the pack as he calls him, picks up another grand slam, and that's the end of the jam. Just about 10 minutes into the second half here. 292 to 37 in favor of Puget Sound. Timeout. All right, and that's the end of the official timeout as we're ready to get things underway here. 21:45 left on the clock. 292 to 37 in favor of Puget Sound.
Five-second alert comes. The blockers from the Outcasts make their way back to the gym line right in front of Rambo, trying to impede his way through that pass for the first time. Both teams blockers do a good job of keeping back the opposing jammers, but Scott Singleton makes his way out and picks up 3 jam for the Outcasts. Bonus Jonas is in front of the pack, blocking Rambo, keeping him back and making his pass to the pack. He's stretching him out and brings him outside the engagement zone, and he makes his way through. And it's Scott Singleton and Brandon Chase making the way to the penalty box. Brandon for a direction of gameplay. Now Rambo skating unopposed. Rambo
heading to the penalty box, so Scott Singleton will be coming out. Rambo will be serving the short amount of time that Scott Singleton was in the penalty box. And then both jammers will be back out on the track.
And as the skaters on the track are well aware, we've done a swap out of jammers in the penalty box. Scott Singleton, 5 points on the board for the Outcasts after making his way back onto the track from the penalty box.
The Buccaneers getting held back by the Puget Sound blockers, and that's the end of the jam. 3 points there getting picked up for the Quadfathers. I'm sorry, 3 points there getting picked up for Puget Sound. 297 to 40 right now in favor of the Puget Sound Outcasts.
Speed dealer jamming for the Outcasts. Makes his way into the pack after the whistle. 4 blockers on the track for the Quadfathers. Nice to have. Hard hit to tomahawk. Speed dealer makes his way to the pack. Picks up lead jam for Puget Sound. Oh, there's a ruckus in the pack. As Rambo makes his way in for the first time of this jam after being released from the penalty box. Blockers flying everywhere, inside and outside of the track. Rambo greeted with a wall of blue at the back of the pack. Corey Payne sending him off the track and backing up.
Speed literally getting held back by the raging homo and tomahawk. Nice staying on his tiptoes to keep it balanced as he makes his way through, picks up a grand slam for Puget Sound. Rambo trying to grind his way through for the Quadfathers. Looks like there has been a star pass. Rainbow passing off his jammer cover to Tomahawk. He gets knocked to the outside and sent all the way back into the pack by number 4. Stand aside for the Puget Sound Outcasts.
Corey Payne doing double duty blocker coverage for the Outcasts. Breaking up the pack for Speedia to make his way through and then coming back to have to deal with the Quadfathers.
Tomahawk headed to the penalty box for a track penalty. Got knocked out of bounds. Then came in front of an inbound skater that he was behind previously, so he's going to serve a minute in the penalty box.
Corey Payne in the penalty box. The Team USA player from the Outcasts of Puget Sound.
Hear all of these Team USA players, it's no wonder that Puget Sound is doing as well as it is right now. They literally have some of the very best skaters in the country out on the track against the Quadfathers. 3:27.40 right now in favor of Puget Sound. Looks like Ryrod's going to be jamming out there in this power jam situation. Tomahawk still in the penalty box for the Quadfathers. So Ryrod out there, the only jammer. Get knocked outside, makes his way through. Does not get lead jammer, however, did not pass all of the blockers in bounds. Made it through legally, but still you do not get lead jammer if you don't pass every skater while you are in bounds. In a power jam situation though, that doesn't hurt nearly as much. Speaking of hurting, Joe Steven hitting the ground, Bobby Brady tripping over him a bit. As Ryrod makes his way through and picks up the Grand Slam, 5 more points for Puget Sound.
Hard hit by Red Heron. He stays upright. He's glad at the back for another 5 points for the Outcasts. Tomahawk bouncing off. 15 blocking, making his way, now having to deal with Quadzilla at the front of the pack. Quadzilla's fancy footwork. Tomahawk pulls out, picks up Lee Jam.
Tomahawk able to pick up the jammer as Ryrod did not with that. Hawking sent way back in the pack, calls up. Looks like that's just the end of the jam. The 2 minutes have expired. A little bit of confusion there. Tomahawk knew he was the jammer.
Galley on the jam line for the Outcast and Wild Style jamming for the Quadfathers. Penalty box is empty, so we've got 8 blockers on the track. Both jammers are out. And Dilly Dally picks up lead jam for the Outcasts.
Dilly Dally making his way around the track, bouncing out first and through the pack, completing his initial pass.
Bobby Brady is streaming from the back of the pack to get his blockers.
Oxenford trying to put a big hit on Dilly Dally, but Dilly Dally just getting out of the way before blowing off the jam. Puget Sound Outcast, a deadly combination of speed and size.
Oxenfree making his way to the penalty box. Head block.
Yeah. Made a bit of a diving block there. Dilly Dally caught him high. Dilly Dally, one of the shorter members of Puget Sound, and Oxenfree, the tallest member of the Quadfathers. Those are not a good combination. Just about halfway through the second half. 3:46.41 in favor of Puget Sound.
Mike Thunderous jamming for the Quadfathers. Scott Hamilton jamming for the Outcasts. Picks up lead jam.
Mike Thunderous jamming for the first time today. He can get huge set into the air.
Bonus Jonas sends Mike Thunderous outside of the pack. Outside of the pack and outside of the track. And he has to make his initial pass all over again.
Scott Slam with a nice cut to the inside line, making his way through, picking up a grand slam for Puget Sound Outcasts.
Number 55, corporal punishment on his way up. Would appear to be a track cut.
Looks like I was getting knocked outside, sent way back into the pack. Scott Slammer, meanwhile, driving through the inside line, picking up another grand slam for Puget Sound.
Quadzilla, bonus Jonas, only 2 blockers for the Outcasts left on the track. Quadzilla sending Mike Parker outside, and he's making his way to the back of the track. Re-enter the track once again. Scott Slammerton making his way to the pack for another 5 points. Outcast. They need a calculator to keep up with these points being scored by Puget Sound.
Outcasts trying to make his way around. Last down the fence for Puget Sound with number 56 bonus Jones. Outcasts makes his way through, and that's the end of the jam. Red Baron in the gym for the Quadfathers against number 247, Hollywood for the Puget Sound Outcasts.
Red Baron sprinting off the jam line, but Hendrick takes the inside line, makes it past the blockers, and picks up lead jam.
Hollywood Hendrick picking up lead jam for Puget Sound Outcasts. Red Baron knocked hard to the outside. As Hendricks just goes through untouched dry ride, sending Red Baron for a ride.
Raging Homo making his way to the penalty box for a back lock. Hollywood Hendrick popping out of the front of the back again. Another 5 points for the Outcasts.
Red Baron still trying to make his way through. Looks like he's getting the sense of penalty box and a track cut penalty. Hollywood Hendrick taking a whip off of number 19, Corey Atlas, a.k.a. Corey Payne. Hollywood Hendrick slamming into Joe Seaver, and they're getting smashed from behind. Play has been stopped. EMTs checking on Joe Seaver, took a hard hit from behind. Here's that he is okay. EMTs going to take him on the track, give him a further review, make sure he's okay. Does look to be in pain, but coming off under his own power is always a good sign. Getting hit very hard from behind by Puget Sound. Timeout being called.
It was good to see him leave the track in an upright position.
Try and find out what happened there, but I believe he just may have gotten his bell rung. Went forward on the track very hard. He may have hit his head when he went down. Try and get an update on that in just a moment. Meanwhile, Quadzilla jamming for Puget Sound. Power jam situation here, so he's the only jammer on the track.
Peach, Bobby Brady, and Rambo. Blockers on the track for the Quadfathers. Corporal punishment opens a hole for Quadzilla.
Quadzilla jumps the inside line, but does not make it all the way through, so he's got to come all the way back.
And he does make his way through the pack and picks up lead jam for the Outcasts. Got a wall of orange Quadfather blockers in front of the pack. Quadzilla. Toe stop action. Makes Blair on the blockers and calls off the jam after putting 5 more points on the board for the Puget Sound Outcasts.
I just spoke quickly with number 96, Joe Stever. Appears the injury was just the shot to the back he took. Was very painful.
Yeah, it looked like Slay West may have pushed a couple of his vertebrae back into place.
Having something who did used to do this, I can tell you that this is true in any sport where you're getting hit. The worst hits are the ones you can't see. If you see somebody coming in at you, you can kind of brace yourself for that. But if you're getting hit and you're looking the other direction, or you get hit from behind, there's no way to prepare for that.
Absolutely makes perfect sense.
And that's what happened with the 6-year Steven there. He's going to take some time off to recover. I expect to see him back in before the end of the game. We have 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the second half. 394 to 41 here from Puget Sound.
Fancy footwork.
Very fancy footwork by Speed Dealer there. Helmet cover given to Graham Brando Ashby, number 37 of the Quadfathers. Get knocked on the outside as he makes his way back in. Completing his initial pass to the Quadfathers.
Having to deal with a wall of orange. Comes off the block. Comes off the jam. After a couple hard blocks from the Quadfathers. 4 more points on the board for the Outcasts. Rod and Wild Style. Jamming for the Quadfathers. Penalty box is empty.
41 to 408 right now in favor of the Puget Sound Outcasts. 7.5 minutes to go in this first bout. At which point we will carry almost immediately into our second bout of the day, which is going to be the Montreal men's roller derby from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, versus the Mass Maelstrom from Massachusetts.
Rod picking up lead jam for the Outcasts. In the first one.
Wild Style heading to the penalty box for the Quadfathers. Power jam situation for Puget Sound as Rod jumps back and forth inside of the pack, trying to make his way around and through.
The dreaded trick cut claims another body. Beach now making his way to the penalty box for the Quadfathers.
A lot of track cut penalties for the Quadfathers so far, and you can credit back to Puget Sound's mobility in the pack, being able to knock a jammer outside and then run backwards. The jammer comes in front of him and forces the penalty. It looks like number 28, Raging Homo, is going to be joining number 27, Peach, in the penalty box for the Quadfathers.
Bobby Brady and Tomahawk left the block for the Quadfathers.
Rod taking a whip off the quads and getting some extra momentum. Going to the outside line. Unfortunately, figure 41 right now in favor of Puget Sound.
Dilly-dally on the jam line once again for the Outcasts. Granbo and Quadfathers on the track blocking for the Quadfathers. And Puget Sound have all 4 blockers on the track.
Wild Style getting ready to head out of the penalty box for the Quadfathers, but still stuck there for the start of this jam. Just noticed that B. Schurz is sitting in the crowd right now. I don't know if he was, if he fouled out, had 7 penalties. Yeah, so I just got confirmation there from Brandon Schurz himself that he got 7 trips in the penalty box. So that's happening. You are ejected from the game, and you're not able to even sit on the bench of your team. You have to go in the locker room or go into the crowd. Wild Style heading to the penalty box on another track cut penalty. Puget Sound forcing that.
Dilly-dally doing a signature move. Turn around, no stop right before the blockers and Quadfathers scoot his way through.
And he does that at the last possible second, so that gives him as much time to determine whether or not he wants to come in with a full head of steam or slam on the brakes and try and work his way through side to side with mobility. So
It is amazing to watch.
he can either cannonball his way into the pack or get through very deftly, which he does in that move to the pack.
No stopping that time, did he?
Nope, just barely
He
his way
really made
through.
an opening in the blockers and made his way through.
Getting knocked down by Grimbo SB. Pythagoras heads to the penalty box for the Quadfathers. Dilly Dally picks up another 5 points and calls off the jam. 4 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the second half.
Scott Slenelton on the jam line for the Outcast.
Wild Style still on the penalty box for the Quadfathers, getting ready to head back on the track.
Slenelton making his way through, picks up a new jam after pushing his way through a wall of blockers. Tomahawk on his way to the penalty box for the Quadfathers. He's going to be down to 2 blockers on the track. Bobby Brady and Red Turner. Scott Slenelton early avoiding the block by Red Turner. Puts another 5 points on the board for the Outcasts. Wild Style dealing with a wall of blockers at the front of the track. Hard hit by Quadzilla, sending Wild Style off the track, almost into the crowd. Bonus Jonas on his way. Outcast.
Dry Rod, Wild Style on the outside. Forcing Wild Style in the back of the pack as Scott Slenelton makes his way around Red Baron. Bobby Brady trying to hold him back. But Scott Slenelton makes his way through, picking up a rain slam for the Puget Outcast as Pythagoras makes his way through, completing his initial pass to the Quadfathers. Pythagoras now eligible to score points as Scott Slenelton continues to rack them up for Puget Sound.
And he's had enough that calls off the jam. 4 more points on the board for the Outcast. Oxen free on the jam line for the Quadfathers and Steeler, number 53 for the Outcast. Bonus Jonas still in the penalty box. Outcast is going to start down 1 blocker. A little more than a minute and a half left in the second half of the first bout.
Speed Dealer making his way around, picking up the lead at the jammer for the Puget Sound Outcast. Oxen Free still trying to make his way through the pack. Oh, gets wiped out by Dilly down at the end there. He's going to be headed off on a track penalty. Oxen Free sets the penalty box.
He's off to the penalty box for a track cut.
And jam being called off by Speed Dealer there, so Puget Sound Outcasts are going to have a power jam situation for the full first minute of this jam, and that may be the final jam of the game as we are just going to be about under 1 minute to go in the second half.
Oxen free and Raging Homo in the penalty box. Red Baron, Grambo, and Pythagoras on the track blocking for the Quadfathers. Doing their best to keep back, but Rod picks up the jam regardless. 40 out there. Couple good hits by Puget. Sending Rod almost off the track, but he puts another 5 points on the board for the Outcasts.
Rod getting out to the outside, calling off the jam for Puget Sound Outcasts. And that is the end of the game. Final score, 495-41. Puget Sound Outcasts advance to the quarterfinals. They're going to be taking on the winner of the Max Maelstrom and Montreal's men's roller derby.